Kuala Lumpur structure plan to provide a city for all. Minimum wage of RM3,000 for TVET graduates. Salam Malaysia Madani, I'm SAHIH and you are watching Malaysia Tonight. Taking into consideration of challenges, trend and new technologies, the newly launched Kuala Lumpur Structure Plan 2040, PSKL 2040 aim to tackle all these issues while providing a city for all. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim said the plan not only focuses on driving the economy and public sector but also prioritize the well-being of the people.
Dia bukan hanya penyambungan pelan struktur yang lalu. Bila kita luncurkan pelan perindustrian baru umpamanya, dia bukan hanya sekadar menyambung tetapi mengambil kira tuntutan semasa, tuntutan zaman yang dulu tidak ditekankan dalam pelan struktur dulu. Soal tekanan persekitaran, alam sekitar itu tidak seperti mana sekarang. Soal EV dan transisi tenaga.
Datuk Seri Anwar said this at the launching of Kuala Lumpur Structure Plan 2040 in Kuala Lumpur today. PSKL 2040, which replaces the PSKL 2020, emphasizes the economic, social, environmental and cultural aspects through 6 main goals. Kuala Lumpur Mayor Datuk Seri Kamarul Zaman Mat Saleh said the plan was prepared in accordance with the Sustainable Development Goals and New Urban Agenda. The plan oversees the city's strategic development for the next 20 years, ensuring the sustainability and prosperity of the city for all its people. PSKL 2040 will be made available to the public starting 23rd November. On another matter, the efficiency of government officials nationwide needs to be improved to expedite the approval of any future project or policy implementation. Datuk Seri Anwar said that while the current efficiency of project implementation in the country is considered to be at a good level, the speed of project approval is still less satisfactory.
Betul kita unding, kita teliti, tetapi seperti biasa ada masalah sekiranya kita lewat meluluskan. Dan ada pandangan yang saya rasa munsabah, bukan sahaja peringkat Kuala Lumpur tapi seluruh negara, yang disebut ease of doing business. Kepantasan atau kecepatan meluluskan setelah mengambil kira semua peraturan yang diteliti, dicerakin sebelum keputusan dibuat.
Datuk Seri Anwar also reminded all parties, especially local authorities, not to delay any development projects that have been approved. He added project delays that could potentially impact and create difficulties for various parties, especially those involving public projects. He said this when launching the Kuala Lumpur Structural Plan 2040 in the nation's capital today. Supports declared by several opposition members of Parliament to Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim's leadership recently is a positive sign for the unity government. According to Deputy Prime Minister Datuk Seri Ahmad Zahid Hamidi, more opposition MPs are expected to declare their support for Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim. He added the government must be prepared in facing new political reality following the positive development.
Bukan hanya 4 orang ini saja, tapi kita menyangkakan mungkin lebih daripada itu yang akan memberikan dukungan pada PMX. Kita mesti bersangka baik di dalam dukungan yang diberikan.
The Deputy Prime Minister was commenting on several Bersatu MPs from Jelin, Gua Musang, Kuala Kangsar and Labuan who pledged their support to the leadership of Datuk Seri Anwar. Yang di-Pertuan Agong Al-Sultan Abdullah Riyatuddin Al-Mustafa Billah Shah today granted an audience to China's Vice President Han Zheng at Istana Negara. Han, who arrived at 12:45 p.m, spent about 45 minutes meeting the king. Also present were Foreign Minister Datuk Seri Dr. Zamri Abdul Kadir, Deputy Investment, Trade and Industry Minister Liu Ching Tong, and China's Ambassador to Malaysia Yang Yujing. Han is currently on an official visit until 11th November in conjunction with the 10th anniversary of the Malaysia-China Comprehensive Strategic Partnership this year. For over a decade, China has stood as Malaysia's largest trading partner. In 2022, the total trade between Malaysia and China reached 487.13 billion ringgit, reflecting a 15.6% increase from 2021. China also emerged as the largest foreign direct investor in Malaysia for 2022, with investments amounting to 55.4 billion ringgit. The Ministry of Domestic Trade and Cost of Living, KPDN Kelantan branch, through the Enforcement Division, has appointed 39 major wholesalers and 66 selected retailers in each district to face the northeast monsoon. Its Director Azman Ismail said that the appointed wholesalers and retailers of controlled goods and basic necessities are mini stockholders and need to ensure that the supply is always sufficient. He said that the move was to ensure that there was a sufficient supply of control items and basic necessity, easy to obtain and sold at reasonable prices set by the government during the northeast monsoon season, which is expected to start from 11 November and will last until March next year. According to the Malaysian Meteorological Department, 4 to 6 episodes of heavy rain are expected to occur. Thus, according to Azman, Kelantan KPDN has made a flood contingency plan through 3 phases of preparation before the disaster, during the disaster and the post-flood recovery period after the natural phenomenon. He said this to reporters after the Deepavali 2023 Festival Maximum Price Scheme compliance walkabout in Kota Baru today. Azman said in the contingency plan set by the state KPDN, these wholesalers and retailers are allowed to increase the supply storage limit of controlled goods exceeding 30% of the quantity from the existing storage limit allowed in the original license. Muar Member of Parliament MP Syed Abdul Rahman was today sentenced to 7 years of jail, 2 strokes of the cane and 10 million ringgit of fine by the Kuala Lumpur High Court. He was found guilty of 4 charges of abetting in criminal breach of trust, CBT, misappropriation of property and money laundering in connection to Angkatan Bersatu Anak Muda Armada funds. Justice Dato' Azhar Abdul Hamid sentenced Syed Saddiq to 3 years jail and 1 stroke of the cane for abetting in CBT and 2 years and 1 stroke of the cane for misappropriation of property. For 2 other charges of money laundering, the 30-year-old MP was sentenced to 2-year imprisonment and fined 5 million ringgit each. Syed Saddiq will also have to serve another 4 years in prison if he fails to pay the fine. Justice Dato' Azhar also ordered the jail sentence for abetting CBT and misappropriation of property to run consecutively, while the jail sentence for money laundering to run concurrently beginning today. However, the judge granted Syed Saddiq's application for a stay of execution of the sentence pending appeal in the Court of Appeal. A company owner was fined 14,000 ringgit by the Kuala Terengganu Sessions Court today for submitting false documents for incentives under the Penjana Kerjaya 2.0 program amounting to 85,500 ringgit 2 years ago. Judge Muhammad Azhar Osman imposed the fine on Burhanuddin Helmi Cik Awang, 29, after he pleaded guilty to alternative charges he faced. For the first charge, the accused was fined 6,000 ringgit in default, 2 months jail, while for the second charge, he was slapped with a fine of 8,000 ringgit in default, 3 months jail. He paid the fines. On the first count, Burhanuddin Helmi was alleged to have used a genuine document, which is the employee verification form for the hiring incentive program, which he knew was false when applying for an incentive amounting to 40,600 ringgit from the Social Security Organisation SOCSO. On the second count, he was charged with submitting a form containing false information to an SOCSO agent for an incentive worth 44,900 ringgit. The offence was framed under Section 471 of the Penal Code, punishable under Section 465 of the same, which provides for a jail term of up to 2 years or a fine or both upon conviction. Deputy Public Prosecutors of the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission (MACC), Mariah Omar and Tengku Nurul Hazikah Tuan Yaakob appeared for the prosecution, while the accused was unrepresented. Coming up next, Proton targets 2,000 S70 sold for a month. The minimum salary of RM3,000 is among the main aspects highlighted in the Technical and Vocational Education and Training TVET policy. Deputy Prime Minister Datuk Seri Dr. Ahmad Zahid Hamidi said the policy will be tabled in the Cabinet for its views and approval next year. Elaborating further, Datuk Seri Dr. Ahmad Zahid said the policy is important to strengthen the institution and increase the graduates' marketability.
Dalam perkara ini, saya sangat serius. Biarpun saya tidak digelar sebagai bapa TVET negara pun tak apa. Tetapi saya akan tetap berada di garisan harapan untuk menterjemahkan TVET ini sebagai pilihan utama majikan-majikan untuk menjadi pekerja-pekerja mahir. Yang penting bukan hanya dasar, tetapi penyelarasan pelaksanaan. Dan bagaimana bidang pekerjaan kelulusan TVET ini harus diberikan ganjaran atau gaji lebih daripada yang lain.
Datuk Seri Ahmad Zahid, who is also the National TVET Council Committee Chairman, said a national secretariat comprising 10 experts in various fields was drawing up the policy for its tabling in February. The Rural Entrepreneurs Carnival KUD at Putrajaya 2023 to be held at Anjung Floria Putrajaya from 22nd to 26th November will gather over 1,000 rural entrepreneurs in one place. Rural and Regional Development KKDW Secretary General Datuk Seri Ramlan Harun said the carnival is expected to attract 1 million visitors and generate 10 million ringgit worth of transactions and business matching. He added the carnival would include the rural tourism component as the latest attraction. This is the first time the carnival will be held since 2019 following COVID-19 outbreak.
Kita akan mempelbagaikan jenis usahawan yang akan datang. Bukan dalam sesuatu produk khusus, tapi pelbagai produk yang diusahakan daripada skala kecil hingga kepada usahawan-usahawan yang telah mencapai tahap sehingga global. So, pelbagai jenis kategori usahawan akan digabungkan pada hari tersebut. Yang bukan saja produk-produk makanan, F&B dan sebagainya, tapi melibatkan fashion, kraft tangan, lifestyle. Malah kita juga akan sediakan satu mini perkampungan orang asli.
Okey, harapan saya adalah supaya karnival usahawan desa pada tahun ini akan kembali meriahlah selepas tahun PKP ya.
Kita ingin memperkenalkan budaya orang asli dan juga kraft tangan daripada orang asli dan juga beberapa produk daripada orang asli.
A total of 10 agencies under the Rural and Regional Development Ministry will be involved in the carnival. Proton Holdings Berhad is targeting sales of about 2,000 units a month for its latest sedan model, the Proton S70. Proton's Deputy Chief Executive Officer Roslan Abdullah said the figure was an estimation based on current demands and bookings.
Dalam minggu yang pertama kita rekodkan booking dalam 400 unit dan kita jangkakan booking ini akan terus bertambah selaras dengan aktiviti roadshow yang kita akan lakukan dari minggu ke minggu.
He said this during Chinese Vice President Han Zheng's visit to Proton's Tanjung Malim plant today. He added the date of the official launch along with the attractive S70 package and price will be announced later. The S70 is the first sedan to be added to the Proton lineup since the launch of the Proton Persona sedan in August 2016. Still ahead, PM conveys hopes China to join force in resolving conflict. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim has expressed hope that China would join forces to ensure the Palestinian-Israel conflict can be resolved quickly so that humanitarian aid could be sent to Gaza without restrictions. According to Foreign Minister Datuk Seri Dr. Zamri Abdul Kadir, the matter was conveyed by Datuk Seri Anwar to China's Vice President Han Zheng during their meeting at Perdana Putra today.
Dan itu kita mengharapkan supaya China dapat memainkan peranan yang aktif, dan itulah harapan yang telah disuarakan oleh Yang Amat Berhormat tadi dalam perbincangan dengan Naib Presiden, dan respon yang baik daripada pihak China untuk memastikan sama-sama agar masalah ini dapat segera diselesaikan.
He added China also reiterated its commitment to recognizing Palestine's status. Han, who is on a 4-day official visit to Malaysia, had earlier paid a courtesy call on the Prime Minister. During the meeting, which lasted for about an hour, both leaders also touched on regional and international issues of mutual interest and collaboration in the halal industry. The UN Health Agency on Wednesday sounded the alarm bell on the risk of rampant disease in Gaza amid Israel's siege and continuing attacks. The World Health Organization said that as deaths and injuries in Gaza continue to rise, so do the rapid spread of infectious diseases. Worrying trends are already emerging, it noted, including diarrhea, as people are seen consuming contaminated water. The WHO also said the situation is particularly concerning for almost 1.5 million displaced people across Gaza, especially those living in severely overcrowded shelters with poor access to hygiene facilities and safe water, increasing risk of infectious diseases transmission. Reported, the agency pointed to over 33,000 cases of diarrhea, over 54,800 cases of upper respiratory infections, and thousands of other cases of disease since mid-October. Disrupted routine vaccination activities, as well as lack of medicines for treating communicable diseases, further increase the risk of accelerated disease spread. The WHO also warned, adding that basic infection prevention has become impossible in health facilities amid the siege and conflict. In a related development, the UAE has sent a further 5 planes carrying supplies and equipment to support the construction of a field hospital in the Gaza Strip, bringing to 16 the total number of aircraft sent as part of the UAE's Gallant Night 3 humanitarian operation. The cargo of these planes will be unloaded in the Egyptian city of El Arish, where all the equipment, supplies and requirements necessary for the installation and operation of the UAE field hospital will be assembled. It would set up a 150-bed field hospital in the Gaza Strip to treat Palestinians in the enclave. Early on Monday, 5 aircraft flew out of Abu Dhabi for Arish in northern Egypt, carrying equipment and supplies for the facility. The UAE has launched an air bridge over the past 2 days to transport the hospital's equipment as part of the UAE's Gallant Night 3 humanitarian operation. This in line with the country's efforts to elevate the suffering of the Palestinian people and support the health system in the Gaza Strip, which is facing exceptional and critical circumstances. Coming up in sports, TFC triumphs over Stella Laguna in AFC Cup. Stay with us.
Dengan misi mesti menang, semangat perjuangan terus diledakkan dalam setiap pertembungan. 14 pasukan, satu sorakan. Liga Super 2023 bersama kami di RTM, rakan penyiar MFL Liga Malaysia 2023.
PDRM FC, PDRM's ability to stay focused throughout 90 minutes of the game powered them to defeat Sri Pahang FC 3-2 in yesterday's Super League action at the Darul Makmur Stadium in Kuantan. Head coach Ahmad Yunus Muhammad Alif said his team's success started when they were able to equalise 1-1, even though Sri Pahang scored first early in the match. In the match, the home team opened the scoring in the 7th minute through their forward, Kepa Sean Sherman, before the Cops managed to equalise through a penalty by Bruno Juniki Suzuki in the 35th minute. PDRM midfielder Zulfahmi Abdul Hadi scored the team's second goal in the 42nd minute before Bruno scored their third 4 minutes later. Tok Gajah's second goal was scored through a penalty kick by defender Stefano Brundo in the 67th minute. Ahmad Yunus said PDRM players were calm despite several tense incidents during the game, which also contributed to the positive result. Meanwhile, Sri Pahang FC manager Fandi Ahmad described the lack of strategic discipline among the players as one of the reasons why they were punished with defeat. Terengganu FC, TFC edged Stadium Laguna FC 3-2, courtesy of a strike by Sony Norde in the 87th minute to clinch all 3 points in their Asian Football Confederation AFC Cup Group G match on Wednesday. In the match played at the Binan Stadium in the Philippines, TFC had to come back from the dead twice to snatch an all-important away victory. The Stallions kick off the match in style and took the lead after just 3 minutes of play through Junior Ngong Sam and gave TFC anxious moments by scoring again in the 11th minute when Griffin McDaniel struck from outside the penalty box. However, as TFC was struggling to find their footing, a stroke of good luck arrived in the form of Stallion Laguna's keeper, Matthew Niras, who was unfortunate to score an own goal and throw TFC a lifeline in the 33rd minute. After the break, TFC produced a more organised display and going on the offensive, with the skillful Norde spearheading his team's attack. He quickly set up Ivan Mahmud to apply the finishing touches to a great pass in the 67th minute. The second goal, which leveled the tie at 2-2, provided a new tonic for the visiting side, and it was none other than Norde who stepped to curl a powerful shot into the top corner in the 87th minute and beat Nelson Gesick in goal. Both teams had played out a 2-2 draw in their group match played in Terengganu last month. The win saw TFC in second place of Group G with 8 points, 4 ahead of Bali United FC after the Indonesian outfit lost 2-1 to Australia's Central Coast Mariners FC, who leads the group. Brahim Diaz, Vinicius Jr. and Rodrigo scored as Real Madrid cruised into the last 16 of the Champions League with 2 group games remaining after a 3-0 victory over Portuguese side Braga. Diaz, who an earlier goal ruled out for a foul in the build-up, opened the scoring with a first-time strike from close range in the 27th minute, assisted by Rodrigo with a low cross. Vinicius Jr. doubled the lead in the 58th minute when he collected a low cross by Lucas Vazquez to strike home a tidy finish from inside the box. 3 minutes later, Vinicius started a counter-attack and played in his compatriot Rodrigo, who netted a brilliant chip over the goalkeeper to secure the result. The win meant Real Madrid lead Group C with 12 points from 4 games. They could secure top spot with a point at home in their next game against Napoli. The Italian champions are second on 7 points, 4 clear of Braga in third. Union Berlin are bottom on 1 point after 1-1 draw against Napoli. 5th seed Alexander Bublik suffered a second-round exit at the Moselle Open in Metz on Wednesday at the hands of wildcard Fabio Fognini. The 36-year-old Italian veteran fought back from a set down to edge past the Kazakh in 2 tie breaks and secure a 4-6, 7-6, 7-6 victory, with Bublik dropping 3 match points in the second set. On Wednesday in Metz, Fabio Fognini won successive tour-level matches for the first time since reaching the 3rd round of Roland Garros. Fognini reached his first tour-level quarterfinal of the season in dramatic style when he saved 2 match points to claw past Alexander Bublik at the Moselle Open. The Italian saved match points in the second set tiebreak with great touch around the net. Fognini then recovered from squandering a break advantage in the 3rd set before eventually sealing victory on his first match point to advance after 2 hours and 53 minutes. Fognini will meet defending champion Lorenzo Sonego in the last 8 after he brushed off his opponent, Jordanian star Abdullah Shalbah, 6-3, 7-5. That's it from us this evening. In our top story, Kuala Lumpur infrastructure plan to provide ACT for all. From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. I'm SAHIH Samsudin. Thanks for watching.